Derek Brunson versus Edmen Shahbazyan is set to take place on the main card of UFC 248, Israel Adesanya versus Romero. And thank God, because UFC 248 needed a little bit of substance. And we got the substance we were looking for. Edmen Shahbazyan versus Derek Brunson is an amazing fight. We've got Edmen Shahbazyan. This is the old tale of the MMA fight world, and one that I feel myself repeating every single week. We got the young streaking contender with the old wily veteran that's taken a bit of damage. Who's going to come out on top? Edmen Shahbazyan is very fucking promising, I'll be honest with you guys. Not many people smoke Tavares like that, other than Robert Whittaker, actually. And we all know what Robert Whittaker's like. He's the beast of the division. So for Edmen Shahbazyan to go out there and annihilate Brad Tavares, it speaks volumes on his skill level. And I think Derek Brunson, with the amount of damage that he's taken in his career, and also the inability to step up to the hugest of fights that he needs against these streaking up-and-comers with a bit of hype behind them. Before it was Israel Adesanya, then it was Robert Whittaker. I feel like we're following a trend with Derek Brunson. He gets a few wins under his belt against some mediocre level opponent, and then the big fights under all the lights with all the pressure seems to get the better of him. And I feel like Edmen Shahbazyan's in a perfect position to take advantage of that. I really do. I think Edmen Shahbazyan would go out there and beat him. I really do. And I think this is a great fight for Edmen Shahbazyan. The UFC could have done two things with Shahbazyan's career. I wish I didn't have to repeat that fucking long name every 10 seconds in this fucking video. But Shahbazyan could have done two things with his career. He could have taken a step back and quickly got a win under his belt against a guy like Krzysztof Jotko, who's riding a win just outside the rankings. Maybe a guy like Omari Akhmedov, but that's also quite dangerous. Who knows? But he's chosen to take the risk up the rankings against Derek Brunson. And let me tell you this. Derek Brunson, I keep betting against him. He keeps fucking winning. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying. I bet against him every single time. To be fair to me, half the time it works. Okay? Half the time it doesn't work. And the guy who goes in front of him gets a bit gun shy. And it just becomes a bit of a 3-round snooze fest. Okay? If Derek Brunson gets his own way, this fight's going to be boring. And I feel like Edmen Shahbazyan's going to come out switched on enough. I noticed it in the Tavares fight. It was so obvious from the get-go that he was going to beat Tavares. I could just see it in him. You know those guys you can just see it in? Like, where Conor McGregor walked out against Donald Cerrone, I was kind of like, I think he's going to win this. Look how switched on he is compared to Donald Cerrone. I felt that when I watched Shahbazyan versus Tavares. He's just so ready. And Brunson isn't. In that first round, Brunson can be clipped and head-kicked by jiu-jitsu experts. Jacare Souza. I feel like with the slick hands of Edmen Shahbazyan, despite having a massive reach disadvantage, he'll be able to find his way on the inside and plant one on Brunson's chin and be patient enough to find the finish. If he's patient, you watch that finish against some of these guys that he's beaten in the UFC. I mean, he comes in. Fair enough, he hasn't beaten the best of guys, but in hindsight, he beat Darren Stewart, who's a beast. Darren Stewart is an absolute beast, okay? He's on a 2-fight win streak right now, other than a split decision to Edmen Shahbazyan. Before that, he won 2 in a row as well. He's a beast, and now he's taken on Marvin Vettori, so that's an amazing fight. But Edmen Shahbazyan has been absolutely smoking everyone else. And people say, Jack Marshman's not the best of opponents. Charles Byrd isn't the best of opponents. Smokes them in the first round. He makes them look like they're not belonging in there with him, even though they don't belong in there with him. We may think that as fans. We may go out there and say, you don't belong in there with someone, but he made them look like that. That takes a level of talent to smoke someone like that in the octagon. He's dealing with the hype very well. He's staying nice and active, which I'm a big fan of with a young talent. Learning, evolving, not getting injured. It shows us he's not injured whatsoever. He's still in... I mean, every time he goes out there, he's going to be a better version of himself. Who knows what version of Derek Brunson is going to show up. I know that Edmen Shahbazyan's probably going to be the best he's ever looked. I'm assuming. And I think that Edmen Shahbazyan's going to go in there and get the job done. This does leave some questions for the middleweight division. Because Jared Cannonier's on the same card. And I thought one of Edmen Shahbazyan or Derek Brunson was going to be the fill-in replacement. Apparently, Cannonier's still on the card. So we got questions. Darren Till? I know Darren Till called him out on Instagram in reply to Dana White saying that Darren Till had injured his foot. Darren Till just called him out again and say, no, I'm good. I'm here to fight. Is that what's going to happen next? Because if so, UFC 248 could very suddenly become one of the best fucking cards, and we could have a full-blown middleweight showdown on us. Okay? It just got added Sean O'Malley versus his opponent, Jose Alberto Quinones. I love it. We got the co-main event of Weili Zhang, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Obviously, Adesanya versus Romero is a decent main event. Very nice. Very enjoyable. Neil Magny versus Li Jingliang. I like it. Derek Brunson versus Shahbazyan was the best fight to make. It belongs on the main card. If this isn't on the main card, then Lord have mercy on our soul, because Shahbazyan was on the prelims, stole the fucking show in the prelims with his head kick KO of Brad Tavares, and that was a good set of prelims. A real fucking good set of prelims. Go back and look at the guys on the prelims of Shahbazyan's last fight, and he stole the show. Give him his chance on the main card. The middleweight division is back on full force now that we've got a bit more of an active champion. I love you, Robert Whittaker, but I appreciate the activity of Adesanya. I know injuries happen. Whittaker fans, I know they happen. I understand that. Let's just say I'm lucky that the champion isn't injured anymore. And he's active. And we've got a flowing division. With new contenders with Darren Till. With streaking contenders in Edmen Shahbazyan. I'm looking forward to it, and I think that Shahbazyan gets the job done. They've taken a gamble. They could have taken on a Krzysztof Jotko or a guy ranked lower down the rankings, but instead they decided to take on Derek Brunson, put all their chips on the table, and hopefully move himself up the rankings, which he definitely will. And if he wins this one, hey, Robert Whittaker's going to need an opponent when he gets back. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen next? Maybe they do Darren Till versus Edmen Shahbazyan and turn Shahbazyan around straight away. We have no idea. That's the enigma of the middleweight division. And I'm looking forward to finding it out. I just feel like Edmen Shahbazyan's just going to be too switched on in the first round. Plant a nice clean right hand on Derek Brunson's chin and get him out of there. Because there's a trend in Derek Brunson's career. Get a bit of a few wins, lose to the best in the division. Get a few wins, lose to the streaking contender. It's always the streaking contender or the veteran of the division. There seems to be an elite barrier that Derek Brunson can't pass. He can beat the Machida when he's past his prime. He can beat Daniel Kelly, who never had a prime. Let's be honest, he's about 50 fucking years old. Uriah Hall, you can beat him. These are the lower levels. The Sam Alveys, the Ed Hermans, the Lorenz Larkins. Like, every time he comes up against the best, the Ian Heiniches, the Elias Theodora, you know the guys. The usual suspects around the 10 to unranked range of the divisions. He can beat all those guys. So if Edmen Shahbazyan can get the win like I think he's going to, he joins a very elite club of people. I thought Derek Brunson beat Anderson Silva, so when you really think about it, the only people that Brunson's lost to in the past however many years is Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, and Jacare Souza. I think Shahbazyan can join that club. 22 years of age. I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like. He's going to be evolving so rapidly. Jesus Christ. That's an exciting fucking match, boys. I am gassed up for that fucking shit. I look forward to it. Jesus Christ. Derek Brunson has a knack for ruining my plans. And if he does it this time, I'm going to be very furious. Very furious. Because I'll be honest with you, he is a big boy for the division. And if anything, he can maybe resort to his grappling. Who knows? I don't think he's going to get a chance to. I think Shahbazyan's going to plant one on his chin. 6'2", Edmen Shahbazyan, fast, switched on early. I don't see it being a good night for Derek Brunson. I'll see you guys later. UFC 248 just got some amazing upgrades. I'm looking forward to it again. Click that button there. Goodbye.